Hello there everybody and welcome to a game called The Farmer Was Replaced, where the farmer was quite literally replaced with a drone. And it's our job to program up this drone and harvest up our crops. Now it is actually a programming kind of game, idler. It's an interesting take on things, but it does help you learn Python, which I thought was pretty interesting. So we're actually going to jump in and see what we can do. Now, I'm not very good at programming because I don't really use it that much. So it's going to be interesting to see how quickly my programming knowledge falls down. So as you can see here, we got a bit of a screen here. We can zoom out as much as we need to. We've got our little UI. This is everything that we need. So you got your getting started, your first program, external editors, etc. You've got your main program that we're going to run here, unlocks, as well as creating some new screens if needed, but we'll delete that one for the moment. So getting started, we're going to have a look at our first program. So this is a text editor. When you run it, if you run the left hand side here, it will run the entire program, whereas this little one here will just execute one line at a time. So as you can see here, there is going to be, if you already know Python, it's not a problem either. You can just skip the early game and get to the more interesting stuff. Otherwise, we're going to slowly learn how this works. Now we can have a look. We can type in something like harvest. And if we press this, it will harvest. And as you can see there, you can type in do a flip. And what it will do is it will then harvest and do a flip. Or, like I said, we can use this. It will do the first line of code, which you can see there's harvest, and then it will do the flip. So again, but what we can do as well, we can get rid of that, and we can actually just make a whole bunch of these harvest commands. We could loop it as much as we want, or not really looping, just run them as many times as we want, and we can see we can rack up some easy hay that way, which is pretty good. So next up, we can have a look at the unlocks tab. You can see it says that over there. Now we have the ability to unlock a loop, which is pretty good. It is a while loop, so we are going to unlock that. Now, programming for me is a bit hard to explain, mainly because I don't use it as much, but you can see we've unlocked the while loop, which essentially, if you give it the value true, it means the loop will just keep running. If you give it the value false, it will stop running. So we can see here, this is how it recommends we do it. While condition, and then we give it what we need. So what we would do is, let's delete all of this, and we can say while true, and then we got to make sure that we type it correctly. We can say harvest. So while the loop is true, we want it to harvest. That's pretty much it. Although saying that, you can see I'm already starting to fail. While it's true, harvest, and it will literally just keep harvesting as much as we want it to, which is pretty nice. And what we can do here is we can see you can do a whole bunch of things. We'll say while it's false, do a flip, or while it's true, do a flip. At the moment, I don't think we need it, but what we will do is we'll stop it here for a second and we'll have a look at an unlock here. We've got speed unlock, or we got a grass unlock, the yield of the grass or the speed. For the moment, we can just unlock the speed because we got the hay for it. So let's have a look. So we can see here now we've got an if branch. So because the speed has doubled, we'll have a look here. So while we're running this, you can see it's harvesting the hay before it's actually ready, which is not really what we want to do. And that's essentially what this if statement says. So we're going to add it to our while loop. So we'll say here, if condition 1, so if it can harvest, we're going to say harvest. Which essentially means if we can harvest the hay, we're going to harvest it. Else, so if we can't, we're then going to just do a flip. And that's it, really. So we'll type it like that. And you can see here, we're just going to be cutting and we can do a flip. And that's pretty much it. Now it's up to us, or we can just say, I believe, we can just use this to comment it out if we wanted to. I think we can just say continue. And it will just loop around. And it looks like it works because it goes through the extra step. It's just enough time for us to actually harvest, which is quite funny. So what we could do is we could wait until we get to 100 and then upgrade the yield module if we wanted to. So you can see here, if condition, do a flip, otherwise harvest. So they're doing it slightly differently. So we could always add this in here where we could say while true, trying to think if, why is it saying that actually? The if condition makes it just like a while loop, executes if the code block is equal to true. Do a flip if the condition is true. Okay. I don't actually see why we would do it any other way than this, if I'm being honest. So we'll leave it like that. Yeah, if it can harvest something, do something. That is literally all we want. Cool. We've nearly got enough for the yield module, so we'll stop at 100. We'll grab that grass unlock. So now you can see if we run this loop again, we'll be getting 2 per hay, which is pretty nice. I don't actually know how much we need for planting. Is going to be 50, or we can expand for 30. Let's stop here and let's get the plant unlock. So we can unlock planting. So grass is nice because it grows automatically. The other plants have to be planted. So the only plant you can plant right now is a bush. And the only way we can plant that is if we say plant and then we want to tell it that we want to plant the bush. Okay. Now I'm going to write a new script here. So we'll say if you can harvest, harvest. Otherwise, continue. Maybe we'll put it as part of the harvest statement to say we're going to harvest and then straight afterwards we want to plant a bush. That should in theory work. I don't see why not. And then we'll literally just keep continuing. Just keep continuing until it's essentially ready for us to harvest, which could take a while if we want to unlock anything. So let's have a look in the background here to see if we can upgrade anything else. Now we have the sensors. The drone can see what's under there, or we can increase the farmland. That might be a good idea. Requires 30 hay. So what I'm going to do here is stop this for a second and let's stop planting. So now that it's grayed out, it will just keep continuing to use the grass essentially, because that's the default. So we're happy with that. Like I said, oopsie. Let's see what we can get to increase what we can do. So we have movement now, which the drone will move with the move function, and it can go north, east, southwest. It can't go in diagonals by the looks of things, although we could, I guess, make it do that. So let's have a look here. What I'm actually going to do is let's delete that. Let's copy or cut all of this into here. So we could say here, move north. And every time we run this, it will just move north. We could say, well, we could say whatever we wanted, really. We could say move east. And what it will do is you won't be able to see it here, I guess, because it's moving back because it loops. It's moving back to the same spot. But we could if our farmland was a bit bigger. So we can see here we now have 3 pieces of land we can use. So let's go back to the start. So while it's true, if we want to harvest it, we can harvest it. I'm happy with that, but I think I want to say, let's plant some of these. So you can see it just plants it. And I'm actually going to say, if it can harvest, that's fine. Otherwise, instead of the continue, let's have it actually move north. So it will just keep going north until it finds something that it can harvest, and then it will plant the bush, and yeah, that should be pretty good. Right, let's see what else we can do. We've got a speed upgrade. We may as well get that, right? Even though, look how speedy this drone is, even. It's limited by, essentially, the growth speed of that bush, but that's okay. So we can expand if we wanted to. We can get the 3x3. We could get the sensors or the potential operators. So I think... Oh, we got some golden carrots there. I rate... Let's wait until... No, let's expand. Let's expand again. So this is where it's going to get a little bit more complicated. So we're now in a for loop instead of a while loop. So let's stop you for a second. Oh, stop. Move you back to the center. So the for loop makes it a little bit more complicated, and this is getting to the limit of my knowledge. It's giving us the function get world size. This returns the side length of your farm, which I think is that length there. So if we go while true, let's just see if we can get this thing running. I don't think I want to do that. So while true, for every instance, I think, in range, which here we want to say get world size, which should in theory return 3, because there's 3 stages. We want it to move north. So if I'm not mistaken, this should... Whoopsie. Need a colon there. This should just keep going and going and going and going. Which is great, but that's not exactly what we want, because once it's moved 3 spots, because this will return 3, so it will do it 3 times, we then want it to move east. There we go. So I'm very happy with that. So in theory, we should now be able to get it to harvest as well. So move north. And if it can harvest, harvest. And plant some berry bushes. I think that works. There we go. That's starting to work. So I'm happy with that. All right, let's have a look. What was the next thing? We can't get that upgrade because we need carrots. We can't do the grass upgrade. Need carrots there as well. That needs wood. That needs sensors. So actually what we need to do now is just get it to do some of the hay. And I think it's planting it quite randomly because of just when we started it. I'm trying to get it to start again. Did I get it? Oh, I did. There we go. So now it's just going to loop like that for forever, essentially. I'm tempted to get this grass upgrade. I'm not going to lie. So the good news is the grass has definitely got enough time to loop round, which is promising. There we go. So we have enough if we wanted to get to the next stage, which is we actually... Yeah, we do. We have enough for the sensors, but not enough for the operators. Now, I think I want to get a grass upgrade. That way we're doing 3 at a time. I think that makes sense. Right, so we got carrots that we can get. We got a debug mode. Measure performance. Okay, this is going to get interesting. So we've got operators, variables, functions, multi-trade, sunflowers, cactuses, dinosaurs, dictionaries, auto-unlock, automatically unlock things. Okay. This is going to get strange very quickly. All right, let's stop this for a second. Stop that for a second. And dog is currently barking. So let's have a look at the operators. So you've unlocked operators to be used with expressions. So we can actually start going, if it can harvest, harvest, which is fine. And then we can actually have another if statement here to say if can I see the available function here? If what I'm essentially looking for is if we can say if we have 10 wood, move on to hay. But I don't know if we have that function available to us yet. So maybe we can't? Oh, that's interesting. There's a clear function. All right. All right, let's get rid of this for a second. If it can harvest, harvest. All right. Let's move you in here. And I want to put you... that clear function there. Oh, nice. So that does take us back. Perfect. So, operators. Let's go back to operators. For beginners. Yeah, we know what this is. So that's true. If it's an exact match. If it's not that. Okay, smaller than, equal to... Don't think we can currently use that at the moment. So how about we keep going that and see if we can get to the 200. I think that'll be a good idea. There we go. Nearly there now. Okay, let's stop that. So we got sensors. The drone can see what's under it and where it is. Oh, there you go. So the num items, or number of items, I guess, and then the item inside of it, tells you how much you have. So, for example, num items, items.hay will tell you how much hay you have. So if, do a flip if you're over a bush. Get entity type equals entity. Okay. Right, so let's even the function of like where they are. Okay. Well, let's start simple, shall we? Can have an if function here to say if the number of items, which would be items dot hay. Number of items dot hey is greater than or equal. I believe that was it. We can have a look at the operators again. It always gets me. So smaller than or equal to, bigger than or equal to. So we actually want that. Well, I suppose it depends how we want to do it. If we want to say if it's smaller than or equal to, let's say 300, then we want it to plant entities dot grass. Else, I think we can just use an else at the moment. So else, actually we want an elif. The number of items. No, actually we just need an else at the moment actually. So we'll say otherwise plant some berries. We don't care how many berries we get, we just want to make sure that we can do it. So is that not going to work? Oh, here we go, because I forgot to do that. Okay. So in theory, that should keep going. Until we get to 300. Stop that for a second, and let's just say 100. There we go, and it's starting to farm some berries. Because the berries are going to be the default. Which maybe that's not the right thing. Maybe this should be entities dot wood. I say berries. Why did I say berries? Plant bush. Otherwise, whatever we're going to default it to, which can just be grass. Sure. There we go. Although this is a bit weird now. So let's cut this. And let's place this underneath. Because we want it to harvest before it moves. So let's put a note here to say harvest. Movement. I think that makes sense, just so we can see what exactly we're typing out, maybe. And then movement after loop, maybe. Cool. So let's clear this all down. There we go. So now we did it properly. So it's going to continuously do this. But it looks like once it's harvesting, what am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something. It's harvesting and then it's planting the berries. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then once it's finished getting to 100 wood, it should just default back. Yeah, let's go back to clear. Nice. I think that's pretty good. Let's have a look and see if we can do something else. We could increase, well, we can't increase the speed. We need some carrots. To expand, we need some carrots as well. Grass upgrade is 450. Could do some carrots, actually. That would be the next step for us. So till the soil and plant carrots. All right, let's have a look at this. So we'll let that run in the background because it's going to need to now provide us some more wood. So before you can plant carrots, you need to do two new things. Firstly, carrots can only be grown on tilled soil. To till the soil, you simply call till while the drone is over it. Call till again to untill the soil. Okay. And the second new feature is the carrots need seeds to grow. You can buy the seeds with the new trade function. You have to pass an item type to trade. So like this, items.carrotSeed. If the item can be bought, then it will be bought with this. Okay. So, if the number of items carrots, is that the thing, is less than 100, till the soil, trade for items.carrots, oopsie, items.carrot seed, and then plant entities the dot carrots. And then this would now become an L if an L if what, let's say here, what we want to plant. Let's give ourselves some spacing so we can at least see. So in theory, let's clear and go back. Oopsie, that should have that like that. What we should see is it will, oh, let's do it step by step, shall we? So it's true, so it will go through the little range thingy here. You can see the get world size. Will it tell us? Doesn't look like it will. If it can harvest, it will harvest. So, plunk. It's taken its hay. Now it's going to go, if the number of carrots is less than 100, is a carrot. Okay, let's just do this bit here. If the number of carrot, oh, goodness, there you go. The item's carrot is less than 100, till the soil, trade for a carrot seed, and then plant that carrot seed. Okay. What is this? Entities dot... Oh, this one is carrots, really? All right. If the number of items is this, cool. Nice. That's actually working out quite nicely. But it's planting the carrots. But then it's planting wheat. So I'm going to say trade. Oh. Can I say something like, I think it's actually, if, I think the soil is tilling. What was the available function? Not range, plant entity, move directions, till. Till's the into grounds.soil. If ground type equals grounds. Actually, I think I want to do this. Oopsie. So we only want to till it if we are planning on planting it, right? So if ground, oopsie, hang on, if get ground type is equal to grounds dot soil, then plant carrots. Else just leave it. Or I guess it would be else till and then plant, maybe? I guess we could if we really wanted to put that elsewhere, but let's just see how this works, shall we? Okay, yeah, that needs to be semicolon like that. Let's clear it. Okay. So the good news is it's not tilling it again. The bad news is nothing else can grow because it needs to be tilled back, I guess. Although weirdly enough, berry bushes seem to be able to grow, which is really odd. But the good news is we do have some other things that we could potentially unlock. Trees, debug mode, variables. We could get even more space if we wanted to, although we have loads of carrot seeds as well. So maybe we should be saying something like, there's a lot of if statements. If items dot carrot seed, oopsie. If items dot carrot seed is greater than or equal to 20, it's greater than or equal, I suppose we should say less than or equal to that, else continue. Would that work? Let's have a look. Oh, well, we got enough carrots here, actually. So let's change that to 200. The operator cannot be used on items.carrot seed and 20. If... Oh. number of items. Okay. I think this is... That's not break the loop, otherwise... I think we can just leave it. Can we just leave it? Yeah, I don't think that's... I don't think that's what we wanted to do, I'll be honest with you. So maybe let's just get rid of this. Let's get rid of that entire line, actually. And let's do that. So again, let's go back to 100 here. Let's just clear it. Let's just see, like, we know what we're doing. Why is it having a... There's too much indentation here. Okay. Thanks, dude. Oopsie. Plant. Probably too much indentation here as well. All right. If carrot seeds. Okay. Else that. I think that's fair. Hang on, you're meant to be like that. There's not too much indentation here, is there? You guys... Programming is interesting at times. Okay, so we're no longer doing carrots because we got more than 100. So we're going to get our wood up to 100 and then... Let's just check. Let's get wood up to 30. Okay. And then it should just go straight to doing some grass. There we go. Nice. All right, that looks very promising. We can actually increase the yield of our grass by quite a bit. Can we run it in the background? See how much we're getting now? Yeah, about 4. Which is pretty good. Now, there is a lot more that we can actually go over, but I think we've spent quite a bit of time on it. But it's really quite interesting. The next thing we're going to unlock is variables, which we could potentially do, but I don't think it's going to be quick. I don't think it's going to be quick at all. So brilliant. Well, I thought I'd share that with you guys because I thought it was quite interesting, and I probably continue playing with that if you get the chance. But if you guys want to see more, let me know in the comment section down below. And with that, guys, have a good one, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.